Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Steph Curry's mini-slump continues as Warriors defeat Wizards. The Golden State Warriors prevailed over the Washington Wizards tonight in a game that Stephen Curry, greatest point guard alive, didn't score a single point in the first half. No need to adjust your reading glasses, folks, it's absolutely true. In fact, the Dubs actually held a slim halftime lead without Curry getting in the scoring column. That's both a credit to the strength in numbers approach Golden State has employed for over a decade, and a spotlight on how cursed the 9-win Wizards team is right now. Curry finished with 18 points on the night, but it was a reminder that he hasn't been making things look effortless recently. It was just a couple nights ago that he had to deal with slump and fatigue allegations. Last night's game against the Wiz was Curry's third straight game shooting less than 36% from the field. Per stat head, this is only the fifth time in his entire career, spanning from being drafted 7th overall in 2009 to winning 4 championships, that he's had such a streak. For a guy who shoots as much as he does, with his relatively diminutive basketball height at 6'3", and with the degree of distance/difficulty in his attempts, that's a testament to how consistent he's been, and why he's been the greatest shooter of all time for years. For reference, Steve Nash had 18 such streaks of 3 straight games with sub-36% shooting from the field. Kobe Bryant had 14 such streaks, while Trae Young already has 10 such streaks himself. If the Warriors want to continue their climb out of the bottom of the Western Conference standings and make a stake on title contention, they'll need Curry to be on his A-game. But it's nice to know that his team can pick him up on some nights where he doesn't have the scoring mojo flowing. Klay offers encouraging message to Poole amid their new bench roles. Klay Thompson joins the Warriors post-game live crew to discuss his huge night against the Washington Wizards and Chris Paul's impact in his return from injury. Despite no longer being teammates, there's still something Klay Thompson and Jordan Poole share in common in the basketball world: adjusting to recently assigned bench roles. Following the Warriors' 123-112 victory over the Washington Wizards on Tuesday at Capital One Arena, Thompson, who is adapting to a career-defining sixth-man role in Coach Steve Kerr's scheme, was asked by reporters in the locker room about Poole's similar situation. As expected, Thompson was in full support of his former teammate, with whom he won an NBA title. "He's come off the bench before, 2022 playoffs," Klay told reporters. "He can lean in on that experience." Jordan Poole: "I love Jordan. I know he has great seasons ahead of him. But how can that be, given the Wizards' 9-49 precarious outlook and Poole averaging near-career low statistics over 56 games since Golden State traded him to Washington this past offseason?" To Thompson, who has had a roller coaster season as well, the Wizards guard has time on his side. "Obviously, they're in more of a rebuilding mode, so I think there's a lot more on his shoulders to carry the load every night," Thompson added. "He's got all the time in the world. It's just about staying consistent. He'll get there. He's still incredibly young. He's 23. From playing a major role in the Warriors' 2022 NBA title run to being demoted to the bench halfway into his first full season in the nation's capital, Poole arguably is one of the few NBA players this season to have experienced professional lows similar to Thompson's. Yet despite the reduced role in one of the league's bottom teams this season, Poole is facing the challenging situation headstrong, similar to Thompson. "I think we could do it a different way. I've expressed that," Poole said after the game, hat tip The Washington Post's Ava Wallace. "I'm a professional. Whatever the team needs me to do, I'll do. I'm always going to go out there and try my best to help us win. If this is the way we need to go about it in order for me to be on ball, I guess it is what it is." Although Poole understands that Golden State's position to fight for another title influences Kerr's decision regarding his guard. "They're in the hunt, so if that's what you need to do in order to win a championship, I feel that," Poole added. Thompson's and Poole's team situations might be distinct, but personally, they're facing a similar battle. The silver lining is that as friends and ex-teammates, they certainly still support one another. Reporter expects 3x-time champion to depart Golden State Warriors in the offseason. Kevon Looney's career at the Golden State Warriors has never really been in question over recent seasons, with the veteran center having largely been regarded as a consistent and ever-reliable presence both from an on- and off-court perspective. Looney had the opportunity to leave in free agency of 2022, but as has long been the case, his value to the Warriors was always going to soar past what rival teams may have been willing to offer. The franchise recommitted to the now 28-year-old on a 3-year, $22.5 million contract, one that's often been seen as a team-friendly deal. But Looney's production has taken a nosedive this season, to the point where there were murmurs that he could be moved before the trade deadline earlier this month. While that didn't materialize, it was still an indication that the 3-time champion is no longer the staple he once was. The 9-year veteran could see his future raised again in the offseason, with Looney holding an $8 million deal for 2024-25, of which only $3 million is guaranteed. On a recent episode of the Warriors Plus Minus podcast, The Athletic's Tim Kawakami stated his belief that Looney won't be on the team next season. "I don't think Looney's going to be on the team next season. You wipe out $5 million right there, and they, the Warriors, don't think that's going to be a loss on overall talent." Kawakami recently interviewed Joe Lacob, where the Golden State owner clarified his ambition not just to get under the second tax apron, but to get under the luxury tax line completely. With Looney and the $30 million non-guaranteed option on fellow veteran Chris Paul, the Warriors have a pathway to make that happen. Their 10-3 record in the last 13 games has come with Paul sidelined by a fractured hand, while Looney has played a very limited role off the bench. Golden State's hopes of getting under the luxury tax completely may be too big a challenge, given it will hinge not only on Paul and Looney's futures, but also what happens with Klay Thompson and the sort of number the franchise legend may come back on next season. Any Warrior team without Looney is going to look drastically different, with the 2015 first-round pick having played a monumental 259 consecutive regular season games dating back to March 2021. While Looney's time with the Warriors may be coming to a close, you can still win $150 on him today. Just click this link and sign up for FanDuel. Then deposit $10 into your account and make a $5 bet on any Looney wager. Choose one with the longest odds, Looney over 0.5 points score, for instance. If that bet wins, you get $150 in bonus bets placed right into your account. And you, fan, what do you think of the situation Kevon Looney? Leave your opinion in the comments.